let's talk about making your video stand out. Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Mason, also known as Mason0. Today, I should let you know this video is aimed at ASMR content creators. If you are not an ASMR content creator, that's okay, stick around. The stuff that I'm going to be talking about is not necessarily specific to ASMR creators. This advice can be used by any content creator for the most part. I'm going to be using some specific examples related to ASMR as this was requested by the ASMR community. So if you're still with me, let me give a quick short background about why I'm here talking to you about this today. So I said my name is Mason, known as Mason0 in the ASMR community. I am Mason0 ASMR. My channel's been around for a couple of years and I have about 430-ish subscribers at this exact moment in time. I have a degree in marketing, so I am technically qualified to be talking about this stuff, and I've been working in marketing since then. Specifically, I have made my focus content marketing, which is exactly what all of this is. So I hope that the things I tell you today are useful. Let me know in the comments what you think, and without further ado, let's jump into it. So the first thing to know is that after Google, YouTube is the world's most popular search engine. Obviously, Google owns YouTube, so they have control of the top two search engines. Everyone is searching for video. YouTube is huge. Despite all of the controversy that's been going on with advertisers and things like that, everyone is on YouTube. YouTube is booming. So we are actually going to use some Google tools to help us take advantage of the search engine. So the first thing that you need to do when you're thinking of all of the text that's going to be involved with your video after you upload it, you know, the title, the description, the tags, even the thumbnail, is to identify a keyword or keywords. Basically, what you're trying to do with a keyword is you're trying to rank with that keyword. So if you search ASMR, what's the first thing that's going to come up? Well, it's a combination of many factors that show that result on top. Part of it could be that you put money into advertising, that's one thing, but ignoring all advertising, let's think about what people are searching for. So if you search for ASMR, you will expect to see the most general representation of ASMR. So generally that's going to be, in this case, if it's a video, it's going to be one of the top ASMR creators. It's also going to be something that has the most views, something that's gotten the most views recently, so it might not necessarily be their most popular video. It could be a relatively recent video that was semi-popular. And then there's a ton of other factors which include tags and description. So the first thing you're going to want to do in this keyword adventure is a little bit of research. So obviously ASMR has some tags that are, you know, kind of familiar and normal, such as whispering, soft speaking, tapping, you know, various trigger sounds like that, which is great. That's a good place to start. The next thing you'll want to do, there's a Google keyword tool that Google has built into their AdWords system, which is what they do advertising with. But you can use this tool for free, and it's a great way to look at words and phrases and see how many times people are searching them per month. It also tells you what an average bid might be if you were advertising and trying to rank for that word, but we're not really worried about at this point. Advertising is something you can do, but today we're going to be focusing on free things. So a good rule of thumb when researching keywords is to look at the search volume. If it is from a few hundred to a few thousand, that might be a word that you will want to try to rank for. Under a few hundred and no one's really searching for it, which means that no one's going to be searching for you. And above a few thousand, like up into the tens of thousands, that means that there's way too many people trying to rank for that keyword because there's just going to be too much competition because everyone's searching for it. So there's going to be a lot of people that are doing that because it's something that's popular. So for example, ASMR probably isn't something that you want to rank for because there's going to be a ton of searches for that, and there's going to be a lot of content creators that are just already have built up that rapport with that keyword. So you're going to want to try for something more specific. Once you've identified a solid keyword, it's time to optimize for that. So if you've heard the term SEO or search engine optimization, this is where some of that is going to come in. We can't just magically choose a word and then suddenly it's going to work for us. We have to put in the effort and use that word properly. So a few easy things to do. The first one, which may or may not work, but it can't hurt, is to put the keyword somewhere in the original file name of the video. You'll notice when you upload a video, it'll actually tell you your original file name if you go into your video manager. So that could have an effect because obviously YouTube does know the original file name, and that might be helpful. Also, obviously include it in the title. At the very least, if someone sees what they're looking for in the title, then they're going to click on it. So if you have, we like tags in ASMR such as soft speaking, whispering, those kinds of things that I mentioned. So make sure to include that stuff or whatever it is you're trying to get noticed for in the title, because that's what's going to attract people initially if they read the title. The other thing is the description. A general description should be not too long but not too short. If you have a link that you're trying to get people to go to, put it in the top line because you only get a few lines in there. And then in the description, make sure to use your keyword a couple times, but also just describe what the video is about. YouTube doesn't know what your video is. They can't watch every video, so it's up to you to help them. So you put in more of those keywords, more description of what the video is, let them know it's an ASMR video for relaxation and sleep. Use those words and make sure they know how to categorize it. And this really helps you show up in recommended videos next to other videos of ASMR. It might be similar, and that's going to be a big help in having people find you. So in this case, a long-ish description is usually pretty good. About 200 words is recommended, but that can be kind of played with depending on what works, depending on how much you have to say. If you're saying nothing of value, then it doesn't make any sense to do so. So yeah, about 200 words. Other places that text can show up that you might not think about as much is the captions, which are optional. Usually people like to have others do the captions of their videos because it's just a lot of work, and sometimes people are quite generous and nice and able to do it. So if you have the time, or if you know someone that has the time to put captions in your videos, that can be very helpful because the words that you're saying in the videos can be good words for the search engine. The place where most of your keywords are going to be is the tags, which are going to be below the description. It used to be that YouTube showed tags to viewers, and now that's not the case. It used to be sort of a joke where you'd go down to the tags and there'd be some funny joke written into the tags, but that didn't actually help the video rank for anything. There was also a period where everyone thought that putting names of pop stars and popular movies could, get them higher up on the ranks, even if that video had nothing to do with those things. Both of those ages, I think, are a bit long gone now that YouTube does not show the tags, and also because Google has grown a lot in their SEO knowledge, and sort of SEO has evolved over time and become more defined, so now it punishes you if you put in improper tags in your videos. So first rule of thumb is to only put in tags that are actually relevant to what your video is about. Don't start tagging Justin Bieber and things like that just because you think it'll get you views. It won't, it will punish you. So definitely don't do that. Be honest is the key. So in the tags, you will want to use your keyword, of course, and also use it in different ways. This is where you can sort of experiment with different ways of saying your keyword. So if you have relaxation and sleep is your ASMR keyword, to use a generic example, you might also try sleep and relaxation, the other way around, or you might try sounds for sleep, sounds for relaxation, or how to relax, how to sleep, things like that. You also should think about the language people use when they search, which has changed a lot. A lot of people put their searches in the form of questions these days, especially now that we're moving much more towards voice searches with Siri and things like that. So think about how someone might be looking for your ASMR video. Sometimes people might search like I need help sleeping or help me sleep or something to that effect. I don't know if those are true, but think about those ways that people might say that and adapt to it. Try putting those in the tags. Tags help you show up as a related video. They give Google a better description of what your video is about, just like what you put in the description and in the captions. Longer and more specific phrases work pretty well here. Again, thinking back to how you might search for this video, try putting something longer in. Sometimes people are being specific when they search for something. So you might put in tapping on paper, no talking. And that's something that people might search for. Now, to get a better idea of what people are searching for, luckily we have the simplest and most basic tool available to us from any and all pages on YouTube, and that's the search bar. So if you go up to the search bar, click in it and start typing, it'll give you suggestions based on what other people are searching. While it doesn't give you a search volume like Google's AdWords tool would, it does give you a rough idea of words you can use. And that's what I do to get a lot of my tags, is that I start typing a word that has something to do with my title or content, and then I see what other phrases come up to finish that are related. So, for example, I make a lot of magic stuff, so if I have a new deck that I've made that I want to turn into a video, I will search the name or archetype or theme of that deck, and I will see what else comes up. So, for example, if I'm doing a magic control deck, I'll type in magic control, and of course magic control deck will come up, magic control deck tech, magic control archetype, things like that. And I'll pick ones that are more specific and more related to the video, and I'll try to make different variations of those. But that's where I get the ideas. You don't just pull them out of thin air. Like I said, you want to be using things that people are searching for, and the best way to do that is to see what YouTube actually recommends, because that's all pulled from what people are actually typing into that bar. One big important factor in ranking on YouTube is actually something that we as ASMR content creators don't have to worry about too much, because it's kind of inherent in our videos, and that's viewer retention, which means what percentage of the video did a viewer watch, and that's taken as an average. How many minutes were watched of your video out of the total minutes. And because ASMR videos are usually watched all the way through, that's a good thing. This is also a big reason that you need to be honest in your tags and in your title, because if someone clicks on your video, watches 5 seconds of it, and realizes it's not what they came for, they're gonna leave, and that negatively impacts you, because it shows YouTube that someone clicked into your video expecting one thing and were disappointed, so they left. And that's a big factor. So you wanna make sure that you're honest, and then you wanna keep those people there. And I think that in ASMR, our titles are pretty good. People usually come for relaxation. The only concern that we would have is if they don't like your voice or the sounds you're doing necessarily, which I don't think is too much of an issue. The voice you can't do much about. If someone doesn't like you, then they don't like you. As far as the sounds, as long as you put in your triggers in your tags and in your title, then usually people can see, oh, this video has mouth sounds, I don't like mouth sounds, I'll make sure to not click on this. So that's not too much of a problem. You also want people to subscribe to you. You also want people to come back and watch your videos. That's also a factor. So definitely encourage people to subscribe, like, comment. Just saying that sort of reinforces that in people's minds and makes them think, yeah, I should do that. So really just mentioning that once or twice can be very simple and extremely effective. You can't force anyone to like your videos or to comment on them, but giving people a reason to, even just reminding them, is a big thing. Giving people something to talk about is also a big thing. Whenever I have any sort of magic ASMR video where I'm looking at a deck or something, I ask the question, what do you think I should change about this deck? I want to get that conversation going. I want people to talk about something, not only because it helps the videos, because it's interaction on the video, but also just because I want to talk to people. I want to talk to my audience, and I think that interaction is a great thing and encourages people to come back for more. And that's what we want. We want to get an audience and we want to retain them. We don't want someone watching one video and then never coming back. We want them to watch every video, because we get more views, we get more retention, we get a bigger audience, more people see the video, and everybody wins. Another important factor when it comes to getting people to click on your video and watch it is the thumbnail. Thumbnail is something that has been very useful in YouTube, as it gives someone an idea of what your video is about. Now, the advent of custom thumbnails means that we can trick people sometimes, which, as I mentioned before, tricking people is not good. The people who click on your video should want to be there. But the thumbnail can do a great job because it sort of plays off the title and can help enhance that. So oftentimes these days the thumbnail is so striking that people don't even read the title, they just read the thumbnail. So your thumbnail should represent what your video is about. It gives you an option to have a still image of you doing a trigger, of some trigger object. You know, in ASMR we're sometimes focused on a specific thing. This gives us an opportunity to showcase that thing. It may be tempting to just use one of the suggestions that YouTube has, but usually they only give 3, and usually they're not very good. Sometimes one might be okay, but it really doesn't tell anyone anything. Maybe if you're doing a role play and you have a specific set of clothing on or something to that effect, maybe it's good enough. But you also will want to have text, and that's kind of what I was saying, where people don't necessarily need to read titles anymore. So many thumbnails have a simple bit of text on them that tell them everything they need to know. So put your triggers, put your keywords into your thumbnail. Use a nice font, use a nice color that goes well with the still shot that you've taken. It is extra effort and extra time, and all of these things really are, but it's going to make a world of difference if you do it. We don't all have graphic design skills, but you might know someone who does. Even making something very simple is good enough. You don't have to be a graphic designer in order to make a halfway decent thumbnail that's going to work. YouTube also gives us a lot of resources to naturally help us get our videos out there. The first of which is the thumbnails, of course. Definitely use this to your advantage. The next is playlists. So we might not often think about playlists, at least I don't personally, but they can be very useful because in general they take a collection of videos and put them together around one common theme. So a lot of us make playlists of songs that we like or playlists of our favorite videos, but it's very good to make playlists of the videos on your own channel. So for example, I keep going back to the example that I make a lot of Magic ASMR videos for Magic the Gathering, so I prefer to have multiple playlists based on what I'm doing. So I have a playlist for Magic the Gathering openings of booster packs. I have one for deck videos, and I have a few others as well. So I categorize them because if someone searches for a search term similar to the title of my playlist might show up. Then instead of seeing one video, they're seeing 10 videos or more all in one place. So playlists are easy to make, and definitely put your videos into them. Give them a name that, again, someone's going to search for, and even something that someone is searching for. Because if a whole playlist shows up, then that is great if someone clicks on that. The other thing that YouTube provides us is an end screen. It's 20 seconds at the end of your video where you get to have a few different things. You get to have a couple links to other videos, and it shows up in a square of the thumbnail and title of that video, and you can click right to it. It can be your video, it can be someone else's video. It's a great way to drive someone to another of your videos. Usually it's good to have something roughly related content-wise if you think that's going to help. For example, my most popular video is a typing video, so if my end screen for that has a link to one of my other typing videos, because I think that someone finishing that one will want to go to another one possibly. So end screen is something that you can do that's very helpful and very easy. Advertise a couple of your videos at the end, and even has a place for you to put a subscribe button that puts your logo on the screen and allows someone to subscribe right from the video. Now with ASMR, of course, people should be sleeping by the end of your video. If not though, this can be a great tool. If you are worried that people are going to be asleep, there's also title cards, which can be placed anywhere in the video. They're a little small. They kind of just come up off the side or in the corner, and they're little square boxes of text that come down and can give a link to something. They expand when you hover over them. Usually mentioning them in the video and pointing them out is very useful, because I know that I personally usually miss them if the person in the video does not mention it. So make sure to mention these. If you mention a video of yours in another video, you can link to it at this time with the title cards. The next thing you want to do is to spread your audience to other platforms where you can engage with them differently. YouTube is great because it lets you post videos and reply to comments and things like that, but it doesn't really give you any other options. So what you're going to want to do probably is create some social media outlets. Twitter seems to be the most popular and effective among ASMR content creators. Facebook is also alright, but you're going to want to create an identity for your ASMR brand here and drive people from your videos to these social networks so they can interact with you and you can interact with them. It's another place for people to see your videos posted. I know I personally spend a lot of time on YouTube, but I don't spend all day on YouTube compared to something like Facebook or Twitter that I usually just have open in the background. I'm more likely to see a post of someone posting a video from Facebook or Twitter than I am in my subscriptions box on YouTube. So getting people to these social networks can really expand your reach. People will see your videos sooner rather than later, and it gives another place for people to comment. So I've barely scratched the surface, I feel like, with this video, and it's already so long. I hope that all of this helped. It was a little bit rambly, and I apologize for that. I hope it was at least somewhat structured. If you would like more advice, more detailed advice, even specific advice, please feel free to message me or type in the comments below. My social media links are also in the description if you would like to interact or message with me there. I am more than happy to help. I know that even though I know a lot about this, that not everyone does. A lot of these things have become second nature and common sense because I've just been doing this in the marketing world and the content marketing world for so long. So if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. If you liked this video, like it. If you didn't like it, then dislike it and tell me what you think I could change and what better advice I could give. I appreciate any feedback. In the meantime, keep creating great content. The number one rule is that content is king. The updated version of that is that content is king and context is God. Hence why you need to have a good title, a good description, a good thumbnail. Make sure people can find your content. And that's really the moral of the story. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.